Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today I'll be focusing on the Eastern Kingdoms. I'll be starting with Julia Stevens down in Elwyn Forest. I'm just going to use the team that I was left with yesterday. This is the team that I used against Major Pain. So we have two beasts here. Once again, if you didn't see my video from yesterday, I'll be using Nomelia Gearheart, Ashleaf Spriteling, and the Cold Light Surf Runner. I shouldn't need more than one pet, to be honest. So I'm going to start with the Arm Cannon Blast. Dive Bomb. Arm Cannon Blast. Launch Rocket. And set off the rocket. For this team, I'll be using the Slimy Dark Hunter. I have a Health Power Breed. Next up is the Flare Youngling. I'll be using a double Power Breed. And Glimmer. Starting with Sewage Eruption. Expunge. Nether Blast. Bring in your second pet. Deflect. That was a bit of a waste. Triple Snap. Rampage. Now bring in your final pet. Set up Whirlpool. Water Jet. Water Jet.
Talk to me. Watch your back.
For this team, I'll be using Gurgle, the Pandaren Monk, and Bonkers. I actually have a guide for Gurgle, so I'll list that in the description and add it to the card for the video itself. My Bonkers is a health speed breed. Alright, so starting with Lucky Dance. Punch. Punch again. Just going to keep going. Throw out one more. Bring in the second guy. Focus Chi. Fury of 1000 Fists. Oh. Jab. Now bring in your final pet. Tornado punch. Ha, almost. And jab. Here we have a flying pet, an aquatic, and a beast. So I'll be using the Void Scarred and Nubisif, the Karaji Gardling, and Coppers. Starting with Soul Rush. Creeping Insanity. Spitfire Bolt. Another Bolt. Bring in your second pet. Reckless Strike. Sandstorm. Swap in your final pet. Coin Toss. Again. One more. Alright, Lindsay has 3 rabbits, which are critters. So I'll be using the Little Bad Wolf, the Curious Wolvar Pup, and the Flare Youngling. Now I doubt I'll need to use very many of these pets. So starting off with Pounce. Claw. Claw. Pounce again. Claw. Again. Claw. Dodge. Pounce. And Pounce. Lydia has an elemental, an undead, and another undead. So I'll be using the Cold Light Surf Runner, the Shade for Brew Thief, and Squirky. So starting off with Whirlpool. Inner Vision. Fish Slap. Bring in your next pet. Slow and steady. Sniff out. I'm just going to hit focus here. Okay, so now bring in your third pet. Stampede. And fish slap. Now you just have to stay alive for one more turn. But that won't be too hard because all of my pets... Okay, well, 2 of my pets are still alive. Bill uses a humanoid and 2 flying pets, so I'll be using the Sister of Temptation, the Fiendish Imp, and Lil Kaz. So I'm not going to worry with Curse because he actually doesn't have that much health, and Shadow Shock does decent damage. He should be able to kill him off before Curse even pops. Well, that was pretty close. Okay, now I'm going to switch to my second pet. Use Flamethrower. Burn. Nethergate. Flamethrower. Burn. Switch to my third pet. Shadow Bolt. I'm just going to throw on my Fire Shield. And Cataclysm's Edge. Steven uses a beast, another beast, and a magic. So I'll be using the Rotten Little Helper, Amelia Gearhart, and Circle. Alright, so starting with Booby Trapped Presence, Grinch's Gift, Ice Lance, just going to switch in my second pet so she can have some fun too. Cannon Blast, bring in my third pet, Amplify Magic, Tail Sweep, Tail sweep. Another one. And one final time. Eric uses 3 beasts, so I'm just going to stick with the same pet that I had for the previous battle. And so, laying down some booby-trapped presents. Grinch's Gift. Ice Lance. Another one. Swap in my second pet. Arm Cannon. Launch Rocket. Launch Rocket again. And let's finish with a Dive Bomb. Old MacDonald uses a mechanical, a flying, and a critter. So I'll be using Father Winter's Helper, the Slimy Dark Hunter, and the Globe Yeti. Starting off with Ice Tomb for Blizzard. Snowball. Snowball. Swap in your second pet. Sewage Eruption. Expunge. Nether Blast. Now bring in your final pet. Roar. Rampage. Okay, this guy uses a critter, a beast, and a magic pet. So I'll be using the Flayer Youngling in my first slot, Nomelia Gearheart in my second, and Ysurgle in my third. Starting with Triple Snap, Rampage, bring in your second pet, Launch Rocket, set off the rocket, Dive bomb. Arm cannon. Launch rocket. And launch that rocket. Arm cannon blast. Didn't even need the third pets. And finally, we have a team of 1 beast, 2 beasts, an undead. I'll be using Nomelia Gearheart, Renushu Runt, and Chester. So, starting with the rocket, launching the rocket, arm cannon blast, rinse and repeat. So, launch rocket, setting off the rocket, arm cannon, launch rocket, set it off, now bring in your final pet. Going to hit Stampede. Finish off with flank. And there you have it, another humanoid achievement done. So hope that helped. As usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next video.